Laker Nation, what's going on? Tonight we played the Miami Heat, and listen, man. Listen, the Lakers fought. We got back in the game after being down by 23 and almost won the ball game. And that's all coming up next on the Film Room Podcast. Hey, Laker Nation. Tonight I watched my Lakers for the first time, I think all season. Kind of fight back and show some energy and effort after a terrible first half. And although this game was kind of off from the start, the Lakers didn't quit. The Lakers kept battling back. We had a chance to almost win this ball game. Duncan Robinson got hot early in this game. There was no Tyler Hero. There was no Victor Oladipo. Who else was on the sideline? Morris was on the sidelines. Y'all know how Jimmy Butler feels about LeBron James. Kind of slighted a little bit. You got one guy that plays hard, hasn't had an opportunity to win a chip yet. And of course, he battled the Lakers in the 2020 year, and they came up short. He gave them everything they got. But LeBron was still too much for Jimmy Butler. And I think Jimmy Butler's taking it a little bit personally. Jimmy Butler had an incredible game tonight versus the Lakers. But slowly but surely in the third and the fourth quarter, the Lakers just kept chipping away at that lead, kept chipping away, and we finally made it a ball game. Now y'all know how LeBron feels. Every single time, especially versus the Miami Heat, LeBron wants to win. He wants to put a show on every team that he's played for. Show them what they've been missing, who the real king is. And he still likes to perform very hard and very efficiently versus the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And although not really that great at efficiency tonight from three-point line, he was efficient in altering the game. LeBron James came back in, we started to catch fire. LeBron James came back in, we started to get back in the game. LeBron James came back in and made it a ball game. Russell Westbrook had a pretty decent game. We had a chance to bring this lead down to 9 or 10 and kind of start the momentum. Started gaining momentum back. And every single time we tried to get momentum in this ball game, something happened. And I'm not saying it's all Russell Westbrook's fault. It was LeBron James' fault too. He was hoisting up threes like he's been doing. I don't know what's going on. He's just been off. And he's been hoisting up these threes, and he's been bricking. And that's also a momentum killer. Because when you think about it, when LeBron James has the ball, people expect for great things. People expect to see great things. And when great things don't happen, it's a kind of a letdown, but you know he's going to make it back up to you. But when Russell Westbrook lets you down, it's a big letdown. Because you don't know, or you kind of do know, given the opportunity again, he would do it again and again and again. So that's the sad thing about this Lakers team, is that as soon as we start catching momentum, there is somebody in there that is going to kill the momentum. Now, Avery Bradley also had a decent game tonight. He started off slow, but in the second half, he really picked it up. He was the key to how we got back in this ball game. Austin Reeves did nothing. Stanley Johnson did okay. Who else was out there? THT did absolutely nothing. So, it's hard to say, man. THT should be way further along than where he is right now. And I understand he's still young, and I understand he's still developing, but come on. Who is developing this kid? We need somebody that's really going to develop this kid for him to be great, because he deserves to be great. And he is not yet. You turn some of these stars into role players, and they end up being role players for the rest of their career. And you never know their potential. All to help a team win a ball game. All to help a team win a championship. And I feel and I fret that that's what's going to happen with THT. This kid is a superstar. And he is playing way beneath his means. That's got to change ASAP Rocky. Listen, let me go to the box score. Let me go to my box score. I don't even think I want to go to this box score because I'm a destroy some of these guys. All right, I'm going to say it. I wanted to see Trevor Ariza play good. Trevor Ariza is not playing good. It's been too long, and he does not need to start. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly how Kent Bazemore started off. He started off the season playing good defense, getting a lot of fouls, and not really knocking down shots. Same thing with Trevor Ariza. So to me, why is Trevor Ariza getting the pass and Kent Bazemore didn't? Kent Bazemore hasn't been playing any games. He's been playing garbage time. For the same thing that Trevor Ariza is doing. Now, I know it's his 13th game back, but come on. I don't even know if he gave Kent Bazemore 13 games. So I understand based on the injury, you're trying to get him back in the shape or whatever. But listen, he should not be a starter. And I understand his wingspan is good, but listen, this is the starting lineup for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Avery Bradley, Trevor Ariza, and Dwight Howard. Now, Trevor Ariza has been broke. Tonight, he was 0 for everything. Tonight, Trevor Ariza was 0 for 5 from three-point line. And he had 5 rebounds. Now, he got you some good rebounds, and he's a very long defender, at least in my opinion. Trevor Ariza only played 14 minutes, but still, you can't have him starting. He needs to come off the bench. I would rather have Austin Reeves start than Trevor Ariza. Avery Bradley played 30 minutes, scored 15 points. Avery Bradley was good tonight. Avery Bradley did what he needed to do. He scored 24 points, had 9 rebounds, 9 assists. He was 9 for 15 from the field to 60%, and he was 0 for 3 from 3 to 0%. Listen, but the turnovers, the dumb mistakes, the dumb plays. How do you not know this? Why are you rushing? Let me play this clip again. Why are you rushing this possession? This is a possession that needs to take time to develop, and we need to get a good or a great shot off. Not a turnover like this. Not you dribbling between 2 defenders. This is crazy right here. LeBron James had 33 points in 39 minutes. He had 11 rebounds and 4 assists. He had 2 steals. He was 12 for 22 from the field, that's 54.5%, and he was 1 for 8 from 3, that's 12.5%. He was off from 3 tonight. And that didn't help us either. That didn't help us not one bit. But he did help us. And that's the difference. Dwight Howard played 10 minutes. He didn't score any points. We didn't even look for the big guy in the cup. What is going on there? Carmelo Anthony came in, played 25 minutes, scored 11 points. What is up with the technical fouls and the flagrant fouls? I understand you're going to get them, but come on now. We trying to win a ball game here. Y'all got to be disciplined, smart. Malik Monk played 23 minutes, scored 7 points. Malik Monk hasn't been getting the touches. He hasn't been getting any touches lately. Stanley Johnson played 22 minutes, scored 7 points. And THT played 21 minutes, scored 5 points. THT was 1 for 5 from the field and 1 for 2 from 3. Wayne Ellington played and Austin Reeves played. So we really didn't get any production out of a lot of guys. And 2 of our starters didn't even score. We couldn't even get 2 of our starters to score the ball. And we still almost beat this team. They beat us by 6. And what was up late in the game while we didn't foul when we were only down by 4? It's just some of these possessions I just don't get.
Lakers surprised they're not fouling here. They're down 4 points.
And then let's play the worst turnover of the game. Here it is right here.
Like the Lakers are going to do it. And now for sure they're not. As Barton.
THT. Bro, you got to know. To me, for one, let's start here. Why does THT have the ball? Why is he the inbounder? He's the youngest guy on the floor in a critical time, clutch time. Why does he have the ball on the inbounds? That's point number one. Point number two is, bro, although you are the inbounder, shouldn't somebody tell him that, bro, if you can't get the ball in, you do have a timeout to call. So call the timeout if you're in trouble. This dude almost falls inbounds for no reason. What was he doing? Leaning in so much. It's just things like this, ladies and gentlemen. We needed a taller inbounder for one. So it should have been Trevor Ariza, or it should have been somebody. Maybe a Malik Monk. I would even take Austin Reeves. Maybe not Austin Reeves because he's a rookie. You never know. Carmelo Anthony. Somebody. And then just get it right back to him. Why aren't we running any good plays? That was a terrible play late in the game. And if this is what they're coming up with, hey, listen, Laker Nation. We're going to have some problems down the stretches of games. Because this was not only executed well, this was drawn up terrible. Whoever drew this play up, no. Just no. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, but this was a pretty decent comeback. I'm not even upset about this game. Just certain key plays in there that could have been changed and altered. But, hey, what are you going to do? We were down by 23. This looked like a blowout. I was going to turn it off by the second quarter. And then we got right back into the game. And I'm glad I watched because this is the stuff I want to see. I want to see my team go down fighting like they stand for something. I want to see my team go down battling for every possession like they mean something. And that's what they kind of showed in this game. It wasn't the greatest effort, but it was definitely more effort than we've been seeing, especially when we're getting blown out. And their defense started to be incredible. We started to get stop after stop. They started going late in their shot clock and everything. And so we got another one coming up. Our next one is in the Nets house. We play Brooklyn on Tuesday at 7:30. And they're going to be without Durant, and they're going to be without Kyrie Irving. So we're going to see what we can do in Brooklyn. And after this loss, I think we should be able to do some things in Brooklyn. Because Miami, their defense tonight was impeccable. I mean, their defense was incredible tonight. Their attention to detail. And everything Miami needed to do tonight, they did. They executed perfectly. And Jimmy Butler, just the cherry on top. I mean, he is just great on both ends of the ball. But there's one thing I want to point out. I want to put this little nugget in your ear. Now, from what we've been seeing from the Lakers is all the intangibles, really. Lack of communication, lack of togetherness, camaraderie, just everything enlisted with, just playing team ball. A lot of ISO from players. You get ISO from Melo, you get ISO from Westbrook, you get ISO from Lebron. When AD comes back, you're going to get ISO from AD. I mean, it's just so much ISO, man. So much ISO. One thing I want to mention is that maybe the reason why we haven't been playing together is because we have had the fewest road games this year. Those road games mean a lot. Now, there was something that stood out that LeBron James said. He said that when we go on this road trip, it's good bonding time. I don't know if it was LeBron or Westbrook. I forget who said that. Or Dwight Howard. I forget. Somebody. But one of them said that. It's good bonding time. And a light bulb went off in my head and said, maybe that's why they're not really together. Because they still don't really know each other that well. They played so many home games, and when you're home, you play the game, you go back to your family. You go back to your home. You go back to setting up your home for the people, like Malik Monks and, everybody that just came into L.A. They still probably setting up things in their home. And so, and they have their own crews that they hang out with and their own guys. And, of course, their family. A lot of them are family men, a lot of older dudes. So, of course, they're going to go back to their family. But listen, when you're on the road, you're on the road with your team. That's it. Your team and your staff. And occasionally, yes, you may go out, to somebody, if you know somebody in the city, I'm sure. But it's a lot of bonding time. On the bus, on the plane. Spending a lot of hours together, talking to each other, talking about the game, breaking down stuff, talking about your interests in outside of basketball. And all of that is needed. And all of that helps build that continuity between them. And that's what they've been missing. So hopefully this road trip, even if we lose a lot of these games, I hope it brings them together. I hope it brings them closer together. So they can start actually playing like a team and actually starting to see, hey, my brother is struggling on the weak side. Let me go and help him. Hey, my brother is getting double teamed on the strong side. Let me go over there and make myself available for the ball. Let me make smarter plays. Let me be available for my team. And that's what this Laker team is going to need. It's not just going to need AD. They're going to need a lot more than AD. They're going to need communication. They're going to need continuity. And they're going to need to play as a team on both ends of the floor. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what we haven't seen this season. We've maybe seen it for a game or two or three or four, and it hasn't been every night. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got tonight. But before I go, let's go into the post-game shits.
As you kind of made the comeback as a team from the first quarter, did you see it that way, or was there something else you noticed about Miami?
Yeah, we just started off a lot too slow, but picked up a little too late. And our sense of urgency was a little late.
Okay. Russ, what about Miami's offense, the way they run things, made it difficult for you guys in the first half, and where do you think you improved the most on that end?
Just playing harder. That's it. It was just playing harder enough. When we decided to play hard, you see the difference. It doesn't matter in this league. It doesn't matter what a team runs or what it is. If somebody's playing harder than you, you will know right away. And then that's that. And then when we decided to be able to step our intensity up on both sides, rebound the ball, defend, run, play the way we supposed to play, then you see the results.
Yeah.
Russ, this might be a hard question to answer, but why doesn't that happen more consistently with this group? I
don't know.
Is that frustrating that you guys have been chasing sort of that answer for a little while now?
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if we've been chasing it or not, but I don't have the answer to that question.
AD is very close to coming back. That does mean a round of changes again too for this team. But what is it going to mean to kind of get that level of talent back on the court for this group? And do you think it'll give you not just an on-court boost, but maybe like a mental boost too, to kind of be closer to whole?
I think it's whenever you get a player like AD back, it definitely changes your team, not just on the offensive side, but defensive side. He's able to do things that people can't do at his size, and definitely gives the team a boost, get a chance to be able to see everybody on the floor. At least, hopefully as we kind of move forward towards the tail end of the season.
Avery mentioned the switching defense really kind of made reads easier. I was wondering your view on that change and how it changed the dynamic of the game.
Yeah, it was a good adjustment. For the most part, we did a good job of executing it.
Bill.
Russ, back to AD. How do you, 17 games without him so far. How do you look at this stretch that you guys have kind of had to endure without him? And you're sitting kind of still right around that 500 mark. Do you feel like you've kind of managed to survive that stretch? And then two, do you feel like some of the problems you've endured in that time to what degree do those just automatically get resolved with AD? Like, how much of that just gets fixed by him coming back?
First question, I think it's hard to tell because a lot of those games, it varies because some of those times Bron was in, I think, missed some, and then some other guys missed some games. It kind of varies. That's a difficult question to answer. And the second one is the same. Like, not one person is going to change every aspect of, what we're doing. And I think for us, it's also going to be an adjustment for everybody to kind of get back into the rhythm of playing with AD and AD as well, getting his wind back, getting his conditioning back.
Wondering how much you think the various different things you guys have had going on, having a top 10 guy like that comes back, how much that fixes things, how much it helps you, how much it sets your path for the rest of the season versus what you have to keep doing.
Well, I mean, anytime you get a talent like that comes back to the lineup, it boosts our team, not only physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. You get a big-time player like that on both sides of the floor. So, like I said, there's no pressure when he decides he's ready or when the doctors and his staff tell him he's ready. But we look forward to, when he's in the uniform again with us.
For a night like tonight, he comes out and he plays 2-on-2 before the game, but then he doesn't go. What did you think you guys did early in the game or didn't do that ended up kind of turning around before it was too late?
Well, I mean, you give up 39 points in the first quarter. 69 at half. There's not ingredients for us trying to win, on the road versus a very, very well-coached team. And they shot the ball extremely well from the three-point line to start the game. We didn't close out on their shooters. So they set the tempo in the first half. We played even basketball with them in the third. In the fourth quarter, we played the type of basketball we want to play, but dug ourselves too much of a hole early in the game.
LeBron, what's the biggest frustration with kind of the things that went on defensively early in this game? And I guess in a bigger picture sense, more than halfway through this season, should some of these problems be continually kind of popping up?
We just had too many breakdowns. And versus a team is this well coached, you can't have multiple breakdowns throughout the course of a game, throughout the course of a possession, throughout the course of a first half or a quarter, because they're gonna make you pay. There's a lot of teams in this league, at times won't make you pay for mistakes, but they are not one of them, and they made us pay every time.
LeBron, I asked Russ about it, and he said that he felt like you guys just played a lot harder in the second half. Was there more than that defensively? Were you executing things better?
We did play, extremely hard. I thought for the majority of the game, but I thought we executed our schemes more in the second half. Guys had their ears open. We was listening to commands, and we were acknowledging those and validating those commands. So, put us in position to get stops, keep bodies in front of us, and clean glass when they took either perimeter shots or in the paint.
Just continuing on Russ for a second, in terms of the energy he brought in the second half and being a part of the comeback, what have you kind of seen from him this week in terms of kind of handling everything that went down earlier in the week and kind of assuming this role?
I don't know. I mean, he's just being himself. That's all. I feel like it's every game is whatever you've seen in Russ. I've seen him just be himself. That's all. He was attacking, pushed the tempo, got guys in position. He was great with the basketball, and we just tried to match his energy.
Hey, LeBron.
Oh, Joe.
Hey, man.
Grew your hair out?
Yeah. As we've aged, I think my hair's done a little better than yours.
And mine is going the other way. Mine is going the other way.
Hey, I think this is your first game here since you led the Lakers to a title over the Heat. And obviously that was not, the games weren't here, they were in the bubble. But now that you're not in the pressure of that moment, what was it like for you from a career perspective to be in that finals against them? Like, how did you handle that?
I knew it was going to be probably one of the most mentally challenging sets of games because they know me and I know them.
Back and a little bit even past games compared to how you started the game and Miami was able to build that lead.
I think the main thing was the intensity. Just a little too late. We not only dug a hole for ourselves, but I think when we try to match their intensity, the referees I would say they weren't really ready for our intensity. It was almost too late when we tried to raise our level of play, but we were able to switch 1 through 5, and I feel like it made the game easier for us. We were able to make easier reads on the defensive end, and we're able to get stops and get out on the offensive end and make plays.
Hey, Avery, I got 2 for you. One, your right hand. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's fine. Just been dealing with it for a few games. I'm fine though.
Okay. And then you mentioned the referees. There was that consequential call late with you and PJ Tucker, and it seemed like you took.
Yeah. I mean, those I can't really control that. I try to make the best play I could for our team, and that's trying to get Lebron open. I think the referee noticed the play and called travel right after. So, but like I said, we can't control those. That play, one play, then can determine the game. And we came out with the intensity we had in the second half at the beginning of the game. I feel like we would have won tonight.
Avery, what's sort of the attitude level of, I guess, where do the defensive leaders sort of think about where this team is at on that side of the ball right now? I mean, the inconsistencies. You said intensity a week ago. We'd heard a word like effort. How frustrating is it that these are things that keep coming up?
It's frustrating. I mean, everything you just listed is how we feel. Everyone in the locker room. We have to be tied together. I feel like we're up and down. We're not learning from our mistakes. And as a veteran team, as a team that, is looking to go far in the postseason, I feel like we have to correct our mistakes and learn from those, and we just have to play better. And it's unfortunate, but tonight I like our fight, but it was too late, like I said.
Do you have any guesses as to why this stuff is happening?
I don't know. I think a big part of it is just our effort from night to night. I think on this team we have a lot of talented players, and we all have to buy into our roles. My role is to go out and play hard on defense every single night. There's nights that I feel like I'm not, and I want my teammates to be able to tell me so I can bring that. Malik is a scorer. We need him to score every single night. Melo makes shots. I think we have to understand what we all can bring to the team and bring that every single night, and put that energy into each other. And I feel like we can turn this season around. We can win games, play better, more consistently, but it's going to take that. It's going to take guys being able to sacrifice, understand what they can bring in.
So ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Listen, y'all have been a beautiful crowd, and I have been a beautiful host. My name is Derek James, and you've been tuned in to the Film Room Podcast. And I'm out this bit.